So as you can see, I've done the modeling up to this point, and then we go to the next part. And you should try to do this training step by step so you can learn as much as possible. So after doing this, we get to the lobby parts. Let me just pull up the CAD file, and there it is. These parts here are all the lobby, and we only have it in the underground floor in this plan right here. This part is the lobby. So the detailing that we have for this part is down here. Let me pull it up. There we go. So an important here is when you want to model a project step by step, and as you try to be as principled as possible, you need to be in direct contact with your contractor. And if you have any issues or questions, you should go to them directly, so you can be as professional as possible in your project. But when you're working a solo project or you're the contractor yourself, you're the manager of the project, it's a whole different situation. You're in charge yourself. But when you're working under a contractor and an organization, you will be inundated with the informations and the principles on how to do the project. And even if you're doing the project in your own team, but you've gotten the contract from a certain manufacturer or organization, you need to work based on their rules and principles, and this will be really beneficial to you in your work and in your future. But as an example, in this project that we're modeling here, we really don't know what the rules and the principles of the contractor is, and we don't have any access to the information of the manufacturer. So this is all just an example for you here. So normally they don't just give you the CAD file and tell you to just start planning in their Revit file. You never see this case. In every step of the way, you need to be in direct contact with the manufacturer and the organization, and sometimes there are problems and issues in the CAD file that need to be fixed. And I mean, if there were no issues in the CAD file, the whole BIM system wouldn't be developed. One of the reasons that the BIM project was developed in the world and popularized is the exact information that it has in the CAD file and in the whole process. So when you're working with a contractor, you need to be careful to get the exact information from them in every step of the way. So with that being said, let's go to the Revit file and continue our work. Let me just go back to the CAD file to show you this wall. This wall is from the lobby part, and we're going to model it now. Now, I can do all of this part with the same type of wall. And in order to do so, I can go to this part here because the upper and the lower section of the wall is pretty much the same. So we go to the architecture tab, and then in here we select the wall tool. Let me just do that, and after we've done that, we'll just make one here as a sample, and there you go. So let me just modify it. We go to the edit type section from here and then get a duplicate of it, and I'll name it the lobby wall joinery, and then OK. And as we know, the width that we have here in the construction section is 3 centimeters itself, and it's OK. But this has been divided into two parts. Let me just put up the assembly here. So the lower part is concrete, so let me just select this here. Then I open the material browser, and here let me just type in cement so we can see what we can find here. Let me just do that, and yes, the cement. So let's see what pops up. All right, so let's just get rid of that, and I'll type in mortar. So after that, let me just look for concrete as well. Let me type it in. All right, so let me just pull this up, and in this concrete block section, let me see if we can find anything that's useful to us. Let me then open the concrete section here, scrolling down, Let's see what we can find. So I'll select this concrete here, and then I'll add it to the part above. The message says it already exists here. So I'll select this one here instead, and then I'll add it. And then we go to the identity tab. So here in the name section, I'm going to type in sand and cement mortar. And then after that, we go to the description part below. And then in here, we can just paste the name again. But here, let me just see what we can add. I'll just add in for 250 kilograms. 250 kilogram sand and cement mortar. And there we go. So just the Control C here to copy it, and then we go to the graphics tab. Let me check the box for user render appearance here. And then in the hatching section, choose concrete here. And for color, I'll just use this turquoise. And then in the appearance tab, I'll just get a duplicate of this and then replace it. And then let me search for concrete in here. So let's see what we can find that's a newer version and we can use it. And if we can't find anything, it's gonna be fine too. Then we go here in the concrete tab. Let's just check this part here. So let me see. All right, I'll select this one and then I'll replace it. Or maybe let me scroll down a bit. All right, I'll select this one. And there we go. After that, I'll just hit apply and then OK. After that, let's pull up the notepad file again. And in here, let me see if we have sand and cement mortar or not. Let me just take a thorough look at it. And it seems like we don't have any. So here I'll just create a new line, name it W-22, then tab, Control V, then tab, and then type in walls. Then I save it and I'll go back to the browser, and here from the Keynote section, but let me just cancel here, OK, and then OK. Let me just get rid of this. Then we go to the Annotate tab here, and then we're going to reload the file in the Keynote section. And after we've done that, we go to the browser again. And here in the Keynote section, I'll just define it as this line. Control C and then Control V to paste it down here. You can add any additional info if you want, and then apply, then OK, and then OK. So this is the coating that we're going to put behind this wall right here. After that, let's just open the edit type again. So now we're going to do the upper section of the wall. Let's just do it using the stack wall so we can manage it easier, because we have two different type of walls stacked on top of each other. So in order to do that, let me go to the edit type again, and then I'll rename this part, and then I'll just add the lower section to the end of the name. Hit OK and then apply, and then I get a duplicate of it, and then I'll just rename this last part of it to the upper section, then OK. And after I've done that, we go to the assembly again, and then here we press insert, click on down, and then put this on finish type 5. So the thickness for this part here, I'll just put in 20 millimeters. And then for this part over here, we'll go with 10 millimeters. After I've done that, the material for here, let me open up the browser, and here we'll look for plaster and soil, or let's just put white cement in the upper section here. This is based on the detail. So let's open this again and search for topping plaster. Here we have white cement. Let me just take a look at the info. These also seem to be fine. So then we hit OK. After that, I hit OK, and then OK, and then again. So I just get a quick copy of it, and then I'll open up the lower section that we created and put it here. And there we go. So for the lower part here, we'll just do the sweeps in the next part.